on this computer, so I can stream this onto YouTube later on, so everyone else who are missing this or different time zones can watch it, which is brilliant. So get a little chat box up now, and then we can see. I can't actually see my chat box for some reason. There we go. Here it is. Okay, we can see it. Brilliant. So let's make a start. So today's lesson, we are going to make Chelsea buns. Okay. Chelsea buns, now these are my books that I give the students, so what I can do afterwards is just take pictures of the recipes and things. Now I'm not an author, I just literally write in here, so my students as they go along tend to write. So if you've got pens and paper as well, then just take a few notes as we go. Brilliant, I can see some pens and paper. Hi Ben, lovely, please say where you're from because I can see you all popping up on Facebook as we're going along. So sometimes we're doing level 2 stuff, sometimes we're doing level 3 stuff. We've got a lot of kids from schools who are off today, who have done all the work this morning, who are asking for biscuits and things. So we'll do lots of different things. So this week we're starting with dough because I've got some fresh yeast and it's not going to last forever. On Wednesday we're going to do some more breads, but we're going to do specialty breads, flavoured breads, so you can look in your fridge and see what you've got in there. And that's the beauty of this. You're not going to have everything I've got in my kitchen cupboards and vice versa. So we all need to be flexible. And we're doing Nutella bread. So if you've got Nutella in your cupboard for Wednesday, Nutella. We can use onions, cheese, meats, you name it. Mashed potatoes, we'll just add into the bread and I'll show you that on Wednesday. On Friday, we're doing chocolate Easter eggs because I've got a private class on Thursday in my level 3 groups. I know some of you on here already. And so I'm going to do Easter eggs on Friday as well, just to show you, so that'll be a nice one. Next week, lots of other things, depending on what I've got left in my fridge and seeing what's like, because I'm in isolation like you guys as well. So what I've done already, because bread dough is, obviously takes time. I've actually made my dough up already and I've proved it. So I'm just going to talk you through it to those who haven't done bread before. Okay, so any questions? What's for lunch, someone say? These will be for lunch. So I made these last night just to show you what we're going to be doing today, and that's what you're going to produce, okay? And some of you I know will be like, oh, I've never made stuff like this, but just have a go. It's so simple. I'm going to post the recipe up later on, but I'm just going to tell you what's in here. So if you've got a pen, you can write this down, or you can watch it back. So I've literally got 500 grams of strong flour. Now someone said to me yesterday on a message, because I get lots of lovely messages, can we use soft flour when you got soft? Not really, but who knows, you might start a new creation. And the reason why we use strong flour, it's got gluten in it, it's high in gluten, so it's about 14%, whereas soft flour is 7%. So it's just going to collapse a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. We're not making a big loaf. So if you've only got plain, give it a go. And also what I'm going to ask people to do is, I've got a Facebook page. Once you've made your products, please upload them, post on there, because I'd love to see all what you're doing and all the work you're doing, which is fabulous. So 500 grams of strong flour. We've got 30 grams of fresh yeast. I'm going to tell you about yeast in a minute. 6 grams of salt, 20 grams of skim milk powder. And again, I did post this in a couple of groups last night and they're all saying about skim milk powder. If you haven't got skim milk powder, do not worry. Just literally the water content, which is 275, just half it. So use half milk and half water, and that would be perfect. Okay, so don't worry about the milk. I've got Monica coming on there. I can see a few more people. Sheila, Lewis, brilliantly, Kelly, hi Lucy. We've also got there 50 grams of butter and 50 grams of caster sugar. Now, if you've got a machine, literally throw it all in the machine, bar the yeast. Okay, so I'm not sure if my students are on, but what I've been normally saying to them is, what kills yeast? This is fresh yeast here. Okay, so this has only got shelf life for about 10 days. You can freeze it, but the problem being is it loses about 30% of its volume. So I will probably freeze this by the end of the week, and if I come to make any more bread, I'll just add another 30% of yeast. Not ideal, but you know, that's the best way. So what kills yeast? Does anybody know? Chat in the chat box if you know what kills yeast. I can see Monica there via comments. So does anyone know what kills yeast? Heat will kill yeast. So people think yeast needs heat to activate, which it does, but it mustn't go above blood temperature. So I literally get my water, put my finger in it. If I can't feel it, that's blood temperature. Okay, so do not overheat. That's the first thing with yeast. I'm just moving over here so I can see in the chat box. Yes, brilliant. Who's that? Stuart. Oh, yes, it's Caroline. Caroline, aka Stuart. She's saying salt. Salt does kill it. Yeah, Monica, heat kills it. So be really careful where you put in yeast. So I throw everything in if I'm using a machine, and then I'll give it a little mix with the dough hook, and I'll throw the yeast in dry and let the machine do the work, okay? I'm leaving that on for about 10 minutes on the machine. That's all I'm doing. Let the machine do the work. If you haven't got a machine, do not panic. You need to get your muscles out because you're going to go to the gym. You're going to work it on the table. I'm going to show you that in a minute. So once you've made your dough, okay, everything's in there. Is everyone all right with that so far? Where do we get yeast from? Kelly's asked. Good question. Fresh yeast comes from like Tesco, Sainsbury's. Now, obviously, we all can't go to the shops now. So you can use dried yeast. I never, ever use dried yeast. I just always have, you know, lucky to have fresh yeast around. So you can get these sachets of dried yeast. Again, from the supermarkets. That's what they come in. This 7 grams packet. So you could use fresh dried yeast as well. Hi, Simon. See Simon there. Okay, so once we've got our dough made, we're going to cover it up. We're going to keep it somewhere warm until it doubles in size. So I've just put some cling film on there, keep it nice and tight. Some people use tea towels, but tea towels can let the air through. So the fastest way to do it is with cling film. And put it somewhere warm. It could be in your radiator, out in the sunshine, in the window, on the windowsill, in an oven on a very low heat, about 25–30 degrees. So I've got like a plate warmer thing on mine, so I just stick it on that and just leave it in there. You may have a double oven. You may want to put the oven on up below and then put it in there just to warm. And it's going to take about 45 minutes. Just be patient. We've got all the time in the world at the moment. We're all sat at home, so you've got plenty of time to watch this grow. Let it grow till it's double in size. Okay, once it's double in size, then we're going to knock it back. So we knock it back on the table, and then we're ready to use it. So here we go, let's go. Let me move these out of the way for you. Give us a bit of room. Please ask away your questions if I can see any. Let's see if I can see any there. Carol's on, hi, and Simon's on. Okay, so just a little bit of flour, not too much flour. Use it like you're skimming a stone. And then we're just going to take this dough out. Now this is a nice soft dough. And to be fair, I made this last night and I made it fractionally soft. Because in the recipe it said 280 mils of water. It's just a fraction too soft. So I don't want to overwork this now because I'm going to roll it. But I'm just going to show, if you're not sure of how to knead, with the heel of your hand, okay? So you push it back with your fingers. Can you all see that there? Yeah? And I'm just going to roll it. Okay, and that's what you can get faster and faster. Now I don't want to overwork this because I don't want to tighten this dough because this dough is nice and soft. Okay, so once I've kneaded that, just knock the air out of it, then it's ready to work with. Okay, so a little bit of cling film. Really important, keep your dough covered up. We don't want it to skin over. Okay, so any questions so far? Let's have a look. Yes, okay, brilliant. So what we're going to do now is scale it off. I've got the scales here, and we're going to scale to 60 gram pieces, okay? So the reason we do 60, it's a nice size for hot cross buns, Chelsea buns, ice fingers, all the sort of stuff we're going to use there. And then we're going to cover it up. So just literally chop them up. Okay, I'm going to do 6 of those. Now, what I love about this dough is fantastic. You can make anything from it. So you can make one dough, and from this dough, you can actually make donuts. No one's going to do donuts today, but then I thought, oh, health and safety and fryers at home. So if you want to, you could, if you've got one of those nice chip fryers and it's got oil in it, put this dough, rather than put it into the oven, you put it into the fryer and you'll make donuts from it. Exactly the same, make ice fingers from it. So it's really, really flexible. So you can make a big batch of this and turn it into all sorts of things. So you're actually making one product, one dough, I should say. Okay, so what else? I've written a few notes here so I can tell you. We've talked about the yeast. And you've just got to be patient with dough. You know, it depends how hot your kitchen is, what your environment is. Just wait for it to grow. Now I'm lucky because I've got a little prover. I've got a steamer actually, and on my steamer there's a prover, so I can prove these. If you haven't got a prover, again, just be patient and put it somewhere warm. An airing cupboard's a good place as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll do one donut as well, just to show you donuts. Okay, so that's those. Now, what we need to learn is to hand mould. So once we've got all those cut out, let's check we've got no questions. Hi Michelle from Ireland. Oh, some of the Irish family popping on, which is lovely. Okay, so what we need to do is roll these into a round. Now you don't want any flour on your table. You see me there, yeah? And you're literally going to put a little bit of pressure on your hand here, and your thumb and your finger, you're going to roll it, okay? Now I do make this look easy. It's not easy to start with, but I don't know if you can see that thumb tucking underneath as you go, and that'll create a nice little round ball. And that's what you want, so we'll just put that back onto the cling film. Okay, so I'll just do it slowly again, a bit of pressure there. The thumb tucks and the finger tucks. Now imagine if I put a piece of string there, then that I'm not rolling it around like a marble, because what happens when I roll, I want all the seams to go underneath. So if I show you this here now, the seams are underneath. You can see that, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, so I'm just going to whiz these up now into rounds for you. And we're going to keep these 3 here for our hot cross buns. In fact, I'm going to do another one, because we all like a hot cross bun. Hot cross buns are easy to make. I'll just add a bit more into there. Okay. Who else have we got? Is it super sticky? Good question. It's not really, no. If it's too sticky, it's too soft. So there's a fine line. It might look sticky, but it's actually not. If you're kneading on the table, just put a tiny bit of flour on your hands like that, literally, so you can't really see the flour, and then just bring it together and it's not sticky. So there's a fine line. You can see it's sort of stretchy, but not too soft. Okay, so these are going to be our hot cross buns. That's going to be our Chelsea bun, ice finger, and what else am I doing? Something else to show you. Ice buns, yeah. So let me get my mixed fruit. Okay, so I'm just going to add, it's up to you really how much you add fruit-wise. I was having a look in my cupboards last night, because obviously I didn't realise I was going to be doing these cookery demonstrations at home. So I was saying, I've actually got this left over from Christmas, from a fruit cake. It's mixed dried fruit, so that is perfect for hot cross buns. So I'm just adding 40 grams there of that. I've also got some mixed spice here. Okay, so I'm going to put probably, I quite like them spicy. These are going to be hot cross buns. So probably about half a teaspoon in there. Okay. Now, if you were just making hot cross buns on their own, obviously you'd put this in the machine, the spices, just to mix in. But we're not, so I'm just dividing this mould, this dough up just to show you some different ones. So just literally knead it as I was talking, flick it back with your hand, keep going. Can you see that? I'll move that out of the way. Okay. Just to make sure that all the spices have mixed into the dough. Once you've done that, then you're going to add the fruits. Now, I wouldn't add this fruit on the machine, because what happens when you add fruit on the machine, it will tend to tear and it makes your dough grey. If you want to add cherries or anything else, like they do at Marks and Spencer's, I've noticed, you could do that. So I'm just literally rolling that in. This is great for the kids, this one, because you can just add it all in and mix it together. Okay. So once that's in there, I'm just going to quickly divide that back into, we'll just go into 4 here. And again, remember what I was saying about weighing them, we want them nice and even. My scales have quickly gone off there. Okay. And then we're going to re-roll those round again. Any questions? Who else have we got? Oh, we've got lots coming on Facebook, which is great. Joe from Ireland, another one. Andrew, Claire, yes, lots of old students, which is fabulous to see. Hi, everybody. So quickly get those into rounds, and they're going to be our hot cross buns. That's that way. I'm just going to put it onto a tray. And when you do your hot cross buns, just line them up in rows, because when we come to put the mix on later on to do the cross, you'll need them equal. And you'll see what I mean when I come to pipe them in a minute. If there's anything you can think of that you'd like to see me make, please put in the chat box. Let me just check Zoom because I've got a few messages popping up. Can I mix the fruit with the dough before I overdo overnight dough? Not really, because I would leave the fruit out. Because you could do, but you're going to make your dough grey. So I would do an overnight dough if you're doing one. I'm going to talk about not having yeast in the house as well. So I would do that, and then once it's done in the morning, then put your fruit through it that way. It's just because you need to knead it in the morning, and if you're kneading it, you're going to break the fruit up, and you don't really want that. Okay. So you do need to make sure these are accurate. That's a bit spare. Just squeeze those round. So that's our hot cross buns done. Okay. Just get a cloth. So I was thinking to myself, when I finished college on Thursday last week, I thought, great, I'll be able to stop eating all these nice sweet things because I've got a terrible sweet tooth and I might actually be able to lose a bit of weight. Anyway, now I'm doing it again, I'm getting double the amount of products. So I noticed that one of my neighbours, she's still with the NHS, so I've decided to wrap all these up individually and she's going to take them in to the hospital where she works. So at least all this will go to a good home, you know, and there's lovely people who are working in NHS for us and keeping us all safe, and we're locked up at home. So that's our hot cross buns. Keep them in a row, because when we come to pipe the cross on them later on, they're easy. And obviously if you're doing a large tray, it's much easier to go across. Okay, so the next one we'll do is iced fingers. So these are really simple. Now remember, we've already got the round. Don't start from scratch, get them round. Once they've gone round, you're just going to roll them like that. Who else have we got coming on? Astra. Hi Astra. Nicola, Leanne, Anne-Marie Murphy from Ireland, another one. Hi. Okay. So just, you want them a little bit longer than what you think because they tend to shrink slightly. So about there. And they're going to be ice fingers. Now, ideally, I would put the ice fingers will prove a bit quicker. I've just got someone hopping on now. I'm just going to mute you. Here, Galaxy S8 has come on there on Zoom. If you can mute yourself, that'd be fabulous. Thank you. There are two ice fingers there, if you can see those, and that's our hot cross buns. Now, the next one we're going to do is, oh, this is our donut. Can't forget our donut. Right, a donut. In fact, these are my favourite product, this one. I love it. And I'm going to be good because I've hardly got any oil. So I won't be doing a donut today. Oh, and here's my lovely Labrador here down below. You probably can't see him. But he's my personal hoover. Have I dropped something already? So I never have to hoover up after because the floor's beautifully clean, isn't it, Rolo? So Rolo's hiding down below. You might see his nose or his tail occasionally go past. So I'm just cutting some paper into squares. Rough squares. Now, for your donut, put that on a piece of paper, okay? Don't leave it on a tray, because once that dough proves, you can't pick it up, but this way we can pick it up. So I'm just going to put that on here, and we're going to put this into the prover. I'm just going to put the prover on. When it switches on. There we go. And they're going to go into the prover. Yeah. Hi Phil, Lizzie, and Sharon. Oh, we've got loads on Facebook, which is fantastic. Not sure how many we've got on there. Let's have a look on Zoom. Brilliant. Yep, we've got lots on there. So we're going to make the Chelsea buns now. Rolling pin. And you're going to roll this. Okay, use your pin just to square it up. Just a little bit of flour. You don't need to go mad with the flour. So you can see how soft this dough is. You don't want your dough too tight, otherwise you're not going to roll it out. But then if it's too soft, then you're not going to be able to roll it. So I try and just stretch it out and keep the corners. You can use your rolling pin if you want to. It doesn't have to be perfect, that's the beauty of this one. Oops. Okay. Hi Phil, hi Izzy. Great to have you all on here. Have we got anything exciting that we're doing? I know my daughter, I can't see my daughter, which is really sad because she's in the NHS, so obviously, we don't want to catch anything. So I'm staying at home, she's over there, but she said she was out in the garden playing swing ball yesterday. And so it's all the old games I think we're all going to get out again in the garden. Okay, so that's about big enough. You don't want it too thin, but whatever's left, just roll out. And you could make them all hot cross buns or all Chelsea buns, but that's totally up to you. Now, normally I'd brush this with melted butter, but obviously we haven't got loads of ingredients, so I'm trying to be, a little bit scarce with things. Rolo, get your nose away. He likes to join in. Okay, so this is just a mixed spice. You could use cinnamon if you want to. Couldn't find the cinnamon this morning. Okay. Then we're going to add a little bit of fruit. So again, it's up to you, depending on what you've got. You could just use sultanas, you could use mixed peel, you can use anything you want. Do you know what's really nice is flaked almonds through it as well. So have a look in your cupboard, see what you've got. You don't have to do the same as me, whatever you've got. And I was looking through my cupboards last night, and a friend of mine gave me a huge bag of pistachios. So I thought, hi Jill, yeah, Rolo is helping, he's right here beside me. Wouldn't be my kitchen without the dogs mooching around. The other ones I think is upstairs lounging on the bed. So I've got some pistachios here, so pistachios are really nice. Okay, a few more. Got loads of those, they're going to last me a long time. And then I've got some cherries here, I'm going to put some cherries in. So whatever you've got in your cupboards, just pop in there. Okay. See what else. Hi Mark, Matt. Okay, once you've done that, so you're just going to roll them up. Keep it nice and tight. Roll low. You have to go on your bed. On your bed, come on. So just roll that up. Keep the edges nice and neat. And as I'm going, I'm pulling back just to get some tension. And I'm just going to squash that edge down there. Okay, and roll it over. And that's it. That's them all done. Okay, just get the chopping board, hold on a minute. And I'm going to cut these up. Hi Matt, how are you doing? How's the baby? So I'm going to do those into 6, so you could do into 8 if you wanted to, but I like big fat Chelsea buns. Just mark them first of all on top, just to check you've got the sizing right. Once you're happy with that, then I use a serrated knife, because I don't want to squash the fruit. Okay, and you'll see. I'm just doing a quick close-up here so you can actually see what it looks like. And I'm just going to pop those onto a tray. If I can grab one. You can flatten them down slightly. Obviously, you might put silicone paper down there if you want to, but these trays are non-stick, so they should be okay. These are going to take about 25 minutes to prove, okay? Just double in size, that's all we're doing. Great. Okay, who else have we got on there? Shad, hi Shad. Tell me where you're watching from, please. I don't know where you're from, in what part of the world you're from. Because I know we've got people from Ireland and Spain watching. Not sure we've got any America yet. Okay. So I always say it's the best side as well. So I'll look at them and think, actually that side's nicer. So I'll just put that side looking up. And that's our Chelsea buns done. Okay. Just give them a little squash down, not too much. And they're going to go into the prover, okay? And they're going to prove approximately 25 minutes. I just want them double in size. Otherwise, if you don't give them enough time and you're like, oh, I'll just get them in the oven, they're going to be tough. So I want them nice and light and fluffy. Don't overproof them, but roughly double in size. So I'm going to pop those in. Now, this oven here hasn't got a prover on it, but it's got a hot plate. So I tend to put the hot plate on. No, I don't. I tend to put the defrost on. That's what I do. So I'll pop that in there. The only problem with this is a dry heat. So it's not ideal where that's nice and moist. So halfway through, I'll just change them over. Any questions so far? Do we all think we can make this dough? I think you can, it's easy. And it's great, it'd be a great one. Great one to do with the kids or if you're bored at home. Okay, so quickly, obviously they are going to be 25 minutes in the oven, in the prover. So when we get to the oven, we want a nice hot oven. Because it's a bread, we want it to jump up. But we don't want it too hot because it's got fruit and sugar in the dough. So we obviously, it's about 185-90 on your, so I'm just looking at his messages popping up, 185-90 in the oven. And it'll take about 15 to 20 minutes. The ice fingers tend to take a little bit less than the others. So, hot cross buns. Let's show you how to make the cross. Really simple, really, really simple. So we're going to get 50 grams of flour. Put that in there. 50 grams. This is roughly, you know, you don't need to be perfect. I always do say to my students, so pastry is a science. You do need to, you know, weights and measures, but this one, you can do this by eye. I'll just get my little measuring jug. So you're just going to add, in fact, I'll put it on here. I can tell you roughly how much water. There's 25 in there, so that's about half the amount. So I'm going to blend that together. I tend to actually do this by eye. So this is probably the first time I've actually measured this out, but I am I am a perfectionist. I tend to weigh everything out. Who else have we got on? Roberto. Hello, Roberto. Christos, Stella, Angie, hi Angie Cooper, Marie, Dennis, Janet. We've got lots on Facebook, which is fantastic. It's going to take a bit more water. We've got loads on Facebook, which is brilliant. Nora, please say where you're from. If you're from another country or what part of England you're from, just type in the box where you're from. So just blend that together, and what I'm looking for is a bit of a snotty, a snotty dough. It's got to be stretchy, and probably a touch of too much water in that actually. Let me just put a tiny bit more flour in it. I did tell you this one needs to be. Better, it's better. So I also put a pinch of salt in there. Not too much. Okay. And that's it done. So I'm going to put that into a piping bag and I'm going to show you how to pipe that on. I did have some from last night. Let's see if it's, I did save it back. Let's see if it's still okay to use. Yeah, you can see how stringy it is. Any other questions? Please keep asking these questions. Quite shy today. I'm sure once we get going, I can see one over here. What we're saying. Having trouble getting a regular supply of yeast in a supermarket, could you show us some soda bread? Yes, I can. I love soda bread. Other breads without yeast. Good idea. Thank you. I will be doing soda bread. Also, don't forget you can make your own sourdoughs. So if you Google sourdough, you can do your own ferments. You don't need yeast. So you could do that. It takes about a week, but we all have time on our hands, don't we? So we could all grow our own sourdoughs. I might even start doing one, to be honest, because I don't really like the powdered yeast. So I am going to put that in here. We used this bag yesterday. Goes out of the way. You can see it's quite gloopy, so it's got to be stretchy. Can you see that? And that's what we want when we come to pipe. That's in the sink. Hey, I can't cook. That's great. Oh, love sourdough. Yeah, I like a good sourdough. So it's going to take about a week to get our starter doughs ready. Move this out of the way. Okay. I like to be nice and neat and tidy. So I'm trying to walk around the Labrador at the same time, aren't I? Yes. He's going nowhere. How are you rolling? Okay. So, imagine this is proved. Well, not proved yet. But you can see how moist they are because it's got steam in there, and that's really good. Once they're fully proved, I would literally get the piping bag. I'm going to do this a bit early, so you will do it after, and you're going to just pipe across in one straight line like that. Okay? And if you have a tray, go all the way across, and then just go that way. And that just puts the cross on top. So it's flour, water, and a touch of salt, that's it. Okay? And I'm just going to pop these back in the prover. But I wanted to show you that bit. Actually, it's really easy. I'm just going to swap those over. Right, the last thing I want to show you is the glaze for the top. Let me just check any questions. If you mess it up, do you start again? Do you know what? Sometimes you mess things up. It's a good question. If you mess things up, you can just turn them into something else. You don't have to look absolutely perfect. Don't panic. You know what I mean? That's what we're doing these lessons for. I want you just to get in your kitchen and get cooking and see what's in the cupboard and let's have some fun. But you can ask loads of questions. And what else have I got on there? Yeah, hi Linda. Linda's watching as well. So I'm just going to show you how we do a glaze when they're finished. Because obviously I'm not going to keep it on here all the time until they're cooked. But you can imagine once they're proved, they're going to go into the oven. Where they're in the oven, we get the glaze done. So really simply, sugar and water, that's all we need. So we're going to use 50 grams of sugar. Hold on. This sugar, sorry. You could use icing sugar if you've got nothing else, but I've just got some caster sugar here. So 50 grams of caster sugar, 50 grams of water. I'm going to bring that to the boil. Just a touch of water in here. There we go. So put that on the stove. Now this is important when you're doing hot cross buns, is as soon as you come out the oven, make sure you've got this glaze ready, because when it goes on hot, it will stick to it in a nice shine. If you leave it when it's cold and then put it on, it's all sticky and it'll fall off. So it must be hot. As soon as you come out, you've got your glaze ready. You can also then glaze your Chelsea buns as well with the same glaze. And I'm just going to show you one more thing before we finish. I'm just going to show you a touch of icing. So I made water icing yesterday. Excuse me, Rolo. Oh no, Rolo, good boy. Okay. I don't know if you can see him down here, but it's desperate, so I can say hello. So I've just put a very weak water ice wash on there, just so it drizzles down with a cherry on top. You can do that with a water icing, or you can use a nice thicker icing, which I've used on the ice finger. Okay, so Again, you can make your icing thick to start with, put a touch of water. Now, if I had some lemons, I would always do lemon rather than water because it's really nice, just gives a better flavour. But I've only got water today, I haven't got any lemons. I chop mine all up and put them in the freezer actually. For gin and tonics later. I don't want to run out of lemons for gin and tonics. Oh, should I not be saying that with children and students on there? Shouldn't really, should I? And it's a Monday. Right, okay, so icing sugar. Always sieve your icing sugar. Doesn't matter what quality icing sugar you've got. Oh, it always looks lumpy. So just push that through. Now, the mistake people make when they do icing is they add too much water. It literally is a couple of drops. Just turn that down, that's ready. Okay. So push that through the sieve. And then, just literally a couple of drops. You can always add a bit more. Okay, I always say you can always add, but you can't take it out. Who else have we got on here? Lisa, Deborah, Justin, Caitlin, not my Caitlin, someone else. Lots of people popping up still on Facebook, which is fantastic. Any other questions? Let me come and see my Zoom. Galaxy 8, could you mute yourself? I think Galaxy 8 might be muted. Let me just check. Yeah, I think they are muted. Okay. So, blend that together. If you want a nice watery icing like that one, just to pour over it, that's perfect. Especially if you've got that glaze on top, which is this one here. And that is it for today. So there's my water, sugar water there, just to go on when they come out, when they're ready. Got my water icing ready. Literally, I would glaze this. I'll just show you one now. Like that. Over the top, gives it a nice shine. Imagine this is hot. Can you see a nice shine on that? Let that set for 2 minutes, and then I'm going to pour a little bit of icing over the top and let that drizzle. Cherry on top, and that is it. Any final questions? So on Wednesday, same time, have a look what's in the fridge, and I'm going to post the recipe beforehand because I know some of you asked if you can cook along with me, and obviously when it's like this I need to stage it, so I've got stages ahead. But if you want to get your dough ready for Wednesday, I'll post the recipe on my page and then we can cook along. And I'm going to show you Nutella bread, I've got cheese and onion bread, pizza, and new pizza. I've got some mozzarella. Don't worry if you haven't got mozzarella, you can use normal cheese. So a few things we're going to make on Wednesday with the bread dough, and then Friday's Easter eggs. So thank you all so much for tuning in today for the first live, which has been amazing, and I will see you all on Wednesday. Thank you very much.